Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session. You are watching chemical coordination in animals, part 1. Children, you know that there is a special coordinate system present in the animals that is called a nervous system. So in spite of that nervous system also, some chemicals called hormones also coordinate the different functions. Then why there is a necessity for these chemicals to be secreted? Why? Because the nervous system which is present in the animals is not sufficient to coordinate the changes which occur both inside and outside the body. Okay, though they are sense organs which sense the stimuli and pass that stimuli to the nervous system, it is not sufficient to coordinate both the changes which occur inside and outside the environment. Okay, in order to maintain the homeostasis, the animals produce special chemicals, okay, or we can call them as messengers, which can coordinate and help the system to run smoothly. So let us study about the chemical coordination in animals. Are you ready, children? Chemical coordination in animals. The individuals also have to adjust to the changing conditions around them and vary their responses. At the same time, the internal conditions of the body should be maintained constant. So this is called homeostasis. Maintaining of internal conditions of the body constant is called as a homeostasis or equilibrium. Homeostasis is derived from homeo, means same, and stasis, the meaning is standing still. The internal conditions of the body are maintained at a constant by controlling the physiology of the organism. What is physiology? Physiology means the science which deals with the functions of the organism, different functions, different metabolic activities which occur in the living organism, okay, like transport, digestion, respiration, excretion, reproduction. These are all come under the physiology. Okay, just as in animals, plants also have to control and coordinate their various functions. In animals, the coordination between different organs in the body is brought out by two methods: by means of chemical substances called hormones and by nerve impulses. Okay, the chemical coordination, which includes the study of endocrine system, endocrine glands. Okay, what are endocrine glands? Endocrine glands are such glands which secrete hormones, Then what are hormones? Hormones are extremely important secretions for the regulation of body activities. They are the chemical substances secreted by the ductless glands called endocrine glands. The full set of endocrine glands in the body includes numerous glands the activities in our body are highly complex. They need to be so regulated that every activity takes place at a proper time and in a correct sequence. Okay, children. For example, the gastric juice, bile juice, and pancreatic juice should be poured into the food canal only when there is a food in it. Okay, what does it mean? If food is not there in the food canal and the secretions of the digestive glands called enzymes poured into the food canal, then what happens? They has to digest the intestine because there is no food. Okay, but it's not happening because of the coordination. Okay, so though this kind of regulation is done to some extent by the nervous system, it is also brought about by chemical regulators called hormones. Hormones are the secretions from specific cells or glands in the body and are carried to all parts of the body, but their effect is produced in one or more specific parts called target organs or target tissues or target cells only. Okay, hormones are such chemical substances. They are produced somewhere in the body, but they show their effect somewhere in the body or all parts of the body, may be influenced by the secretions of those glands. Okay, the tissues or organs on which hormones act are called target tissues or target organs. A hormone may act on one or more target tissues also. Some hormone may have, or same hormone may have different effects on different tissues. Okay, same hormone may have different effects on different tissues. Similarly, different hormones may act on one target tissue. See the beauty here. Same hormone may have different effects on different tissues. Similarly, different hormones may act on one target tissue. Okay, so see here the pancreas is given. The pancreas produce, it is a mixed gland. It produces pancreatic juice, which is exocrine in function, and the endocrine part of pancreas called as islets of Langerhans, it produces two hormones, glucagon and insulin. But these two hormones are showing their influence on different target tissues. Glucagon acts on liver and convert the reserve glycogen into glucose and release the glucose into the blood, whereas insulin act on liver, adipose tissue, muscles. It helps in the absorption of glucose from the blood, means conversion of glucose into glycogen, and stores and helps in the storage of that excess of glucose in the form of glycogen in the liver and the muscles. And some of the excess of glucose may also be converted to fats by the influence of insulin. Okay, here the two hormones produced by the pancreas showing different impact. They are equal and opposite acting. Okay. Next, the target tissues usually far away from the endocrine glands. Hormones act at very specific sites in the body. Very small amount of hormone brings out large change in the target tissues. Each hormone's shape is specific and can be recognized by the corresponding target tissues. The binding sites on the target cells are called hormone receptors. Means how the hormones detect the target tissue means with the help of these hormone receptors present on the target cells. Many hormones come in antagonistic pairs that have opposite effects on the target organs. Okay, just like insulin and glucagon. Okay, so here another example, gastrointestinal tract. The stomach and intestine. The gastrointestinal tract means the wall of a stomach and intestine produce some chemicals like gastrin, cholecystokinin, secretin. These are actually apart from the enzymes. So these are the hormones produced by different organs, digestive system. Gastrin is the hormone produced by stomach. Cholecystokinin, okay, it is produced by the intestine. Secretin, it is also produced by the intestine. What is the effect of gastrin? Gastrin acts on the stomach and helps in the release of HCl, hydrochloric acid, and an enzyme pepsin. It contracts the pyloric stomach. It increases the motility for digestion. Whereas cholecystokinin acts on gallbladder. Okay, liver opens into the gallbladder where bile juice is concentrated. So this cholecystokinin impacts the release of bile into the gallbladder. Secretin, it acts on pancreas and helps in the secretion of water and bicarbonates to maintain the specific pH for the action of enzymes. Okay, gastrin, cholecystokinin, secretin. So many hormones come in antagonistic pairs that have opposite effects on the target organs. Okay, next, insulin and glucagon have opposite effects on the liver's control of blood sugar level. What is the function of insulin? Insulin lowers the blood glucose or blood sugar level by instructing the liver to take glucose out of circulation and store it, while glucagon instructs the liver to release some of its stored supply to raise the blood sugar level. See, they are opposite instructions, opposite functions carried out by insulin and glucagon. Insulin lowers the level of glucose in the blood, whereas glucagon instructs the liver to release some of its stored supply to raise the blood sugar level. Okay, much hormonal regulation depends on feedback loops to maintain balance and homeostasis. Most of the hormonal regulation depends on feedback loops to maintain balance and homeostasis. Okay, here we have discussed already glucagon and insulin. Insulin helps in the absorption of glucose from blood. So it regulates the level of glucose in the blood, whereas glucagon initiates the release of glucose into the blood whenever it is required. Okay. Next, purely endocrine glands are devoted entirely to the secretion of hormones. Okay, some of the important endocrine glands are hypothalamus, thyroid, parathyroids, thymus, adrenals or suprarenal gland, pituitary and pineal gland. Okay, pancreas and gonads are also included. The partly endocrine glands are partly endocrine and partly exocrine in function. So purely endocrine glands list include hypothalamus, thyroid, parathyroid, thymus, adrenal, pituitary and pineal gland. And partly endocrine glands are which include kidneys, pancreas, gonads, mucous membrane of alimentary canal, heart, liver and placenta in the embryonic stage. Gonads means testis and ovary, male and female gonads. The knowledge of the function of these glands has been obtained by studying the effects of disease in them, and this can usually be explained by the production of too much or too little, hyper or hypo secretion of the necessary hormones. Okay, let us discuss about one by one. The thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is the most important gland. It is a butterfly shaped bilobed gland that is situated at the base of the larynx. The two lobes are joined by a isthmus. Isthmus means it is an interconnection. Two lobes are connected each other by an isthmus. The hormone secreted by thyroid gland is thyroxine. The thyroid gland is composed of two lobes which are located on either side of the trachea. Both the lobes are interconnected with a thin flap of connective tissue, that is isthmus. The thyroid gland is composed of follicles and stromal tissue. Each thyroid follicle is composed of follicular cells enclosing a cavity. These follicular cells synthesize two hormones, that is tetraiodothyroxine or tetraiodothyronine or thyroxine T4. Okay, and triiodothyroxine, tetraiodothyroxine, triiodothyroxine, it is also called T3. These two hormones. Iodine is very important or essential for the normal rate of hormone synthesis in the thyroid. In order to secrete thyroxine hormone, what is the element required? Iodine. Deficiency of iodine in our diet, it results in the hypothyroidism, means low secretion of thyroxine hormone, and enlargement of thyroid gland swelling or increase in the size of thyroid gland. It is commonly called as goiter. Deficiency of iodine causes goiter. What is the symptom of goiter? enlargement of thyroid gland in the neck region. Hypothyroidism during pregnancy causes defective development and maturation of the growing baby, which is leading to stunted growth. That condition is called cretinism. Okay, sometimes what happens means mental retardation, low intelligent quotient, abnormal skin, deaf mutism. These are all the symptoms of cretinism. Head will be small and the remaining body parts will be normal. Okay, so stunted growth, that is due to the hypothyroidism during pregnancy, okay, by the mother. So this is the thyroid gland, location in the neck region beneath the larynx, sound box. So these two are connected, two lobes are there, this thyroid left and right lobes, they are connected by isthmus. This is the trachea, in the above the trachea, below the larynx. This is the exact position of thyroid gland. Okay, so it is very important to maintain the healthy thyroid gland. So iodine must be included in the diet. Okay children, read the book, clarify the doubts. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to receive latest updates.